Alright, here's what I want to talk about tonight. Basically, we're having a big party, and everyone's invited, and basically, it's kind of like a pajama party. Back when you were in preschool, and you thought about how much fun it was, and that's similar in many ways. Except you can't get out and party, and I just gotta say right now, no, it's not. It's not fun. Except for some people. If I was a banking monopoly, I probably would have a lot of fun. Because let me just explain this to you. Everything in the world is set up for their benefit specifically, and that it's not always necessary to go into all the details, but at this point, the main problem that's open is people going to prison. All right, and that's not very good. So, anyways, I was gonna go through some statistics here. Let's see. Arrest for disorderly conduct during the 1920s, up 41%. Thefts and burglaries, 9%. Homicides, assaults, and batteries, 13%. Number of federal convicts, 561%. Federal prison population, 366%. Total spending on penal institutions, 1,000. Well, so I would definitely say it's worth it just to notice kind of how really, man, it's hard to even think about destructive this is. For one, it's good to emphasize prison population. As you can see, that's one of the worst parts, is how many people end up in prison. However, if you look at the violence, across the board. Anyways, and this just goes on and on. I mean, I'm looking at charts right now, and I gotta figure out how to get some of these things in here. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Alright. Homicide rate. See here, from 1920 to 19. Well, whenever this thing, there's a sharp pitch at, 35, somewhere in that region. I don't have the exact date in front of my face for the end of it. I know it was somewhere in the 30s. I want to say it was 33, but I can't. Anyways, as the important point here is, yeah, well, that's pretty stupid. Obvious. Is the decrease just drops in conjunction with each other, and you can just see that just slice just going straight down. And as you go back up, it stays down for a while. There's a little spike there. Not exactly sure what that was due to. Who knows? anyways, there's always going to be, I guess, spikes in history where people are more interested in killing each other. But it went back up, as you can see here, in tandem with, I mean, it lulled, it spiked, lulled, stayed low, then went right back up as soon as they started back up with the drug war. You see, yeah. I mean, this goes all the way back to 1900, so that calls it drug war dollars, but it was alcohol. So, anyways, it's a little misleading, but you understand it. You got some, and I'm sure they got that from a good source. Man, if you just look at the number of people, oh man, it's hard to even think about it. Oh, and it's one of those things that, man, if you don't understand that is definitely a determining factor of how free or poor you are. I hear people all day long talking socialism, and then they want to talk about gun rights. I mean, it just doesn't end. And they have good, arguments back and forth, but it's just you're never going in the right direction with any of this stuff. Purity. I mean, these things are all inverse relationships. Prize purity right here. That just flies in the face of reason. But not really. I mean, of course. Well, first of all, it's unregulated. Secondly, you're going to jail for the amount in circulation. But they claim the price is going down. I mean, that flies in the face of reason. That was always something that I would more or less feel that it was, in another direction due to supply and demand, of course, and risk. I mean, anyways, seems like prison would be a huge expense in my mind. I mean, I don't know. I guess not, if you think about it. I mean, all you got is people that are getting paid tax-free money up and down. Shit, man. That whole thing is a mess. Anyways, shit is crazy. Just the loss of supply and demand in my mind. But here's the thing. Stuff's getting flown straight in. But it's still, I mean, it's definitely being cut off. I mean, look, people can't get through with certain amounts of stuff. I don't know. That's all you're doing is arresting petty people. Anyways, I'm going to stop right there. Sorry. Here's another thing right here. I am rambling. Marijuana, purity's up. I mean, this is ridiculous. Hold on a second. Let's look at the prison. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now. In 1980, this is important information that I just found. 500,000 people in prison for drugs. No. Incarcerated Americans, 500,000. By 2007, it was already 2.4. and we're up in 2013 now. So last I heard was 2008 actually, and I knew that we had just set a record in 2008. That's from a book I read, and I haven't been keeping up with the last few years. I just know that they don't. I keep up with the day-to-day news, and they don't talk about it. First of all, second of all, I don't ever hear about any kind of decriminalization. That's the only thing that's gonna make the news anyway. So, I don't know, man. It's pretty bad out there. I tell you right now. This is worse than ever. This is the worst part of our society. You know, we've got a lot of guns, and guns are good. You know, there's an argument out right now that, you know, guns should be taken away. Well, here's the thing. This argument that's going viral right now, the guy says we had 11,000 deaths from guns in last year. And then the other guy said, but 74% of them were from gangs. Well, if gangs are killing each other at that rate, and you know that they are, you know, and that constitutes 74%, then you got just the backlash of the culture of violence that's manifested. There's all this. But you need to take into consideration that guns were used in self-defense. I recently read 180,000 times. That's a lot of self-defense. And it's just, they don't ever hear the full scale of what's going on. And in the end, they're taking these same arguments and they're using them against people in the wake of violence they create. Anyways, let's talk about homicides. In 1967, its thing starts spiking right under drug laws. And I've already told you that. I've already gone through these statistics. Let me go back. Oh, yep. Yep, they run right up together. Oh, there you go. This is just this, and this is the same thing. So the actual statistics that I gave you from alcohol prohibition, which I have given you, these are real statistics. The other statistics, I was hoping for something a little bit more what I was looking for. Let me see if I can quantify this for you. Okay. So once we start going into okay, so once alcohol prohibition ends, we're at 20 on this chart. Alcohol arrests are at an all-time high. They spike together, they drop together. Okay, we go along. You know, like I said, there's a lull. It kind of goes back up to. It drops down from 7 down here to. Looks like 10 or 8. Then you go up. It spikes up to about 12. Drops back down to about 7. It's a lull. Then you see a run up concurrent with the drug laws instituted, and you go from 6 up to 20, and this is what this looks like to me. I'm blowing up this thing, but I mean, let me just count the number of marks up on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're up at 6 up here, but when you're here, you're 1, 2, 3, and about just a third of that. I can't read these things. They're not even legible. I took them from a video, but this is a reputable source, and so there you are. I know. I mean, this is the same video I got a quote from Einstein from, and let me see if they cite themselves here. Not in that one. I know there's one in here. This one came from. That's a different subject. All right, this is. Oh man, this is rough. Yeah, I mean, you see the drop, the prohibition, the new drug laws, it's all labeled here. Just 10 per 100,000 population. It would spike out at 10, drop down to about 5, 505, oh, okay, 5 per 100,000. Then during the drug laws, now we've seen spikes of back up to 12. And this is happening, I mean, you know, in conjunction with drug laws. Okay. The source here, Colonial Times to 1970, Series H971-986, Vital Stat of the United States Annual. So there you go, man. And I got a picture here of a sign somebody's holding up that says, "I can't believe we still have to protest this crap." And let me see what's going on.